The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. She kept the kids, he kept his career. Welcome to Nicole Kidman's completely new reality.
Yeah, and it's a reality that's unfolding right now in real time. And when you actually peel back the layers, it's way more complex and honestly just more fascinating than a simple tabloid headline.
Totally. Welcome to this deep dive on Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today the mission is to basically cut through all the noise of those flashing cameras.
Yeah.
We have gone through a massive stack of recent celebrity news reports, finalized court documents, exclusive interviews.
All the receipts.
Exactly. All of it. And we are going to connect the dots of the Kidman-Urban divorce, the really severe custody realities, the intense family fallout, and then a completely unexpected career pivot Nicole's making that redefines her entirely.
Yeah, we are skipping the rumors and diving straight into the mechanics of what is actually happening. And to fully grasp the gravity of the situation, I think we have to rewind just a bit to understand the bombshell split itself. Because let's be honest, the public was completely blindsided. After 19 years of marriage, as of January 6, 2026, the marriage between Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban was officially over.
Which is, I mean, it's still a jarring timeline to process. If you look at the public narrative, it felt like they were, the ultimate Hollywood survival story.
Absolutely. I mean, think back to April 2024. That was just a year and a half before the separation. Keith was on stage at the AFI Life Achievement Award Gala.
Right, the big tribute.
Yeah, and he was publicly praising Nicole in this incredibly vulnerable, raw speech. Like, he stood in front of all their peers and talked about how barely 4 months into their marriage back in 2006, his addictions blew their lives. His words to smithereens.
Yeah, that was intense.
It really was. He ended up in rehab for 3 months, and he told the world that Nicole pushed through every negative voice, ignored the skeptics, and just chose love.
It was such a defining piece of their public identity, like they were the couple that survived the fire. But the mechanics of a marriage are rarely what they appear to be from, a brightly lit gala stage.
Oh, true.
Fast forward to September 2025, and Nicole is the one filing for divorce in Nashville, citing irreconcilable differences.
And when you actually sit down and read through those finalized court documents, the legal breakdown is just wild. Let's unpack the financial and custody realities here, because they tell a story all on their own.
They really do.
So first, the financials. Neither party is paying spousal or child support. The documents state both report monthly incomes over $100,000.
Right, which Forbes pointed out is essentially just a baseline legal formality for the court. Like when you look at Nicole's actual portfolio, she has a net worth hovering around $250 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and she commands anywhere between 15 and 20 million per film.
So yeah, they are both financially bulletproof. The money isn't the lever here at all. The real lever, the place where the true narrative of this divorce takes shape, is the custody arrangement.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting.
They share 2 daughters, right? Sunday Rose, who is 17, and Faith Margaret, who is 15. The court approved a parenting plan where Nicole gets the girls for 306 days a year.
Yeah.
And Keith gets them for 59 days plus alternating weekends.
That ratio is just staggering. I mean, in modern family law, unless there is a really compelling geographical or behavioral reason, courts often lean towards something much closer to an equitable split.
Right.
So a 306 to 59 division is stark.
It instantly reminded me of a Hollywood studio contract, where the A-list lead star retains absolute creative control over the project.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
And I mean that literally. The documents explicitly state that in the event they don't agree on a major decision for the kids like education or medical care, Nicole holds the final decision-making authority. Like she has final cut on their lives.
Final cut is the perfect analogy. It is definitive legal leverage. Now, when you see a clean, rigid legal division like that on paper, the natural assumption is that, 2 busy professionals sat down in a boardroom, looked at their touring and filming schedules, and just drafted an amicable logistical compromise.
See, I have to push back hard on that assumption.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at the insider reports and the timeline leading up to the filing, this was anything but a friendly logistical compromise. Sources close to Nicole have been adamant she didn't want this. She was reportedly devastated.
All right, she was holding on.
Exactly. She had been fighting behind the scenes to save the marriage and was keeping it all in for months before the news actually broke. The reports strongly indicate that Keith was the one who made the ultimate call to end things.
Wow.
and that Nicole felt a profound loss of trust. So when I see a strict 306 to 59 split with final decision-making authority, I don't see an amicable handshake. I see a severe, non-negotiable drawing of boundaries.
I think you're spot on. And that boundary setting operates as a psychological fortress. Let's think about the why here. When your personal life is imploding on a global stage and you feel that your trust has been fundamentally broken, establishing absolute structural, legal control over your immediate family unit is a survival mechanism.
Totally.
It is a way of saying you can leave the marriage, but you do not get to dictate the terms of our children's future.
And we are seeing her exercise that control with a very specific type of public grace. Just days after the filing, she didn't hide in a bunker, you know?
No, she was out there.
She flew to Paris Fashion Week. She attended the Chanel show with her daughters right by her side, smiling for the cameras. Shortly after that, she was presenting an award to Taylor Sheridan at an Amphar Gala in Dallas.
And the psychology behind those appearances is fascinating. It's not just PR, you know? It is a demonstration of resilience. By keeping her life moving forward visibly, she is signaling to the world, and perhaps to her ex-husband, that the family unit remains intact and strong, just under new management.
Right. But if you think the court documents are dramatic, wait till you hear what the kids did next. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Yeah, because while the court handles the days of the year, the daughters are handling the emotional fallout. And that fallout has been remarkably public.
Let's talk about why the kids are reacting the way they are. Since the split, there have been numerous reports that Keith has moved on. There are rumors swirling that link him to his guitarist, Maggie Bow, among other unidentified women.
Right. The rumor mill has been working overtime.
It has. Now, whether those rumors are entirely factual or just the product of the internet, the perception of them has deeply impacted Sunday and Faith.
Oh, without a doubt. It is an incredibly difficult position for teenagers. I mean, you have to think about it. They are watching their parents' marriage dissolve and simultaneously reading internet rumors about their father's new romantic life.
And their reaction has been fierce. Insider reports claim the girls have completely cut Keith off. They're siding with their mom entirely. Allegedly, they've even referred to him behind closed doors as an insensitive dog because of the optics of how quickly he appears to be moving forward.
Teenagers process trauma through loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
In their eyes, their mother is the injured party who fought for the family, so they are throwing up this emotional shield around her. And we saw exactly how that loyalty can be weaponized in the media during Sunday Rose's explosive interview.
Oh man, the March 2026 Elle Australia interview. This was a masterclass in reading between the lines. So Sunday is 17. She is just stepping into her own modeling career. She sits down for this massive glossy cover interview, and she credits her mother as her biggest inspiration in life. She specifically talks about how Nicole taught her the industry secret of always being on time no matter how early the call sheet is. It was this beautiful tribute to Nicole's work ethic and legacy. But the most glaring part of the interview wasn't what Sunday said.
It was what she didn't say.
Exactly. It was what she completely omitted. She talked extensively about her family's influence on her career and did not mention her father once. Not a single syllable.
And if we look at the mechanics of celebrity media, you know, that omission is not an accident. When you do a cover story for a major magazine, every quote is vetted. The narrative is tightly shaped.
Oh, absolutely. The publicists are all over it.
Exactly. So for a 17-year-old to praise her mother's discipline while entirely erasing her musician father from her origin story is a devastating public snub. It is very strategic alignment.
Yeah.
Insiders say Keith is heartbroken, trying to put on a brave front, but having that rejection printed in black and white has completely stumped him. He hasn't even been spotted publicly with his daughters since the separation back in September 2025.
Which brings us to the ultimate leverage Nicole holds in all this, right? The location debate. Because where Nicole decides to physically anchor this loyal family unit changes the entire game.
Right.
For a long time, the narrative was that Nashville, Tennessee was their fortress. They bought this sprawling 2-acre estate there back in 2008.
Yes, the Queen of Northumberland. And Nicole has always been very vocal about her love for Nashville. I mean, she recently told Variety that it's been her home for 20 years.
Yeah, she loves it there.
She even filmed the second season of her show Scarpetta there, noting that it gave her the rare feeling of having a, quote, normal job where she could actually drive home to her own bed at night.
Right, and her best friend is there.
Exactly. She has a deep community there. including her close, ride-or-die friendship with Reese Witherspoon. In the immediate aftermath of the split, she stated she wanted to keep things as is to maintain stability for the girls.
But the ground is shifting beneath those plans. Newer insider sources are claiming that the national stability was, in reality, mostly an anchor for Keith's country music career.
That makes sense.
Right. Now that the marriage is over and Nicole has full primary custody and final decision-making power, she is reportedly feeling unmoored in Tennessee.
I can imagine.
Before the split, the couple was supposedly exploring a move to Portugal. But after spending the 2025 holidays back home in Australia with her sister Antonia and the girls, the new reports claim she is planning a permanent relocation back to Australia.
Wow. Just imagine the legal and emotional implications of that move. If you look at the custody agreement we discussed, 306 days a year, coupled with final say on major life decisions, there is practically nothing legally stopping her from packing up and moving across the world with Sunday and Faith.
Wait, really? She could just do that?
Yes, if the sources are right and the girls are completely on board, wanting a fresh start for their mom, she has the legal runway to do it.
That is wild. Put yourself in Keith's shoes for a moment. He initiated a split, perhaps assuming they would continue overlapping in the same city, sharing the same Nashville ecosystem.
Right, co-parenting locally.
Exactly. Instead, because of the legal leverage Nicole secured, he is looking at a reality where his ex-wife and his daughters move a 15-hour flight away. It's a geographic checkmate.
It really is. It raises a profound point about the unintended consequences of breaking a family structure. For Keith, this is the absolute worst-case scenario.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that when trust is broken, the boundaries drawn to protect the injured party often leave the other party completely isolated. The daughters are demonstrating a fierce, protective loyalty to their mother, and because Nicole holds the legal keys, they are actively reshaping the entire geography of their family.
Nicole is fiercely protecting her daughters, and clearly they are protecting her right back. But it's what she's doing in her private time that is the most shocking twist nobody saw coming. We'll get into that right after this.
It is a pivot that fundamentally challenges how we view celebrities of her stature.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's April 11th, 2026. Nicole is speaking at a sold-out event for the University of San Francisco's Silk Speaker Series, having a conversation on stage with NBC's Vicki Nguyen.
Right?
And casually, right there on stage, she reveals that she is currently studying to become a death doula.
Yeah, a death doula. For listeners who might not be familiar with that term, also called an end-of-life doula, it's a non-medical professional who provides holistic, emotional, physical, and spiritual support to terminally ill patients and their families.
So they aren't medical staff?
No, they are not doctors, they are not nurses administering medication. They are basically trained guides who help individuals navigate the dying process with dignity. They help families with vigil planning, post-death rituals, and legacy projects.
Nicole even admitted to the audience that the pursuit, quote, sounds a little weird. But when you dig into the why behind this, the backstory is actually heartbreaking. In September 2024, Nicole's mother, Janelle, passed away at the age of 84.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for her.
And Nicole's father had already passed, meaning there wasn't a primary caregiver left in the home. Nicole and her sister Antonia both have massive global careers and large families of their own. Nicole realized that despite all their immense wealth and resources, her mother was lonely in her final days.
It exposes a massive gap in modern society.
Mm-hmm.
We have medicalized death to the point where the clinical care is excellent, but the spiritual and emotional care is often completely non-existent.
Right.
Nicole realized that families with busy and modern lives simply cannot provide constant, impartial solace. You could hire a team of nurses, but you cannot easily hire someone to just sit, hold space, and guide a family through the emotional transition of dying. She stood on that stage and said, "I wish there was these people in the world that were there to sit impartially and just provide solace and care."
Wow.
So she decided to become one of those people. She called it a necessary part of her own personal expansion.
I want to explore the paradox of this expansion, though, because the juxtaposition is staggering. Let's look at the contrast here.
It was night and day.
She is voluntarily stepping into the quiet, somber, unglamorous world of sitting with the dying, while simultaneously running one of the most aggressive, high-profile acting slates in Hollywood history. We are talking about a woman whose entire career is built on feigning emotion on camera for millions of dollars, now seeking the most raw, unscripted reality of human existence.
And look at the scale of that Hollywood empire she is balancing this with.
Exactly. Margot's got money troubles coming to Apple TV Plus in April 2026, where she plays a Hooters waitress mom to an OnlyFans creator.
Just that role alone.
I know, the contrast is wild. Then she has Practical Magic 2 dropping in September 2026 with Sandra Bullock. She is filming Linus Season 3, Big Little Lies Season 3, Scarpetta Season 2, a horror movie called The Young People, a legal drama called Discretion. I mean, she is a machine.
Which brings up the very real logistical and practical challenges of this pivot.
Right, because how does an A-list celebrity, arguably one of the most recognizable faces on the entire planet, actually practice as a death doula? Like, imagine you are a family sitting in a hospice room saying goodbye to a loved one, and an Academy Award winner just walks in to guide the vigil.
It's hard to picture.
How does her fame not completely overshadow a family's intimate final moments? There are serious privacy boundaries here. If I'm on my deathbed, I honestly don't know if I want the star of Big Little Lies pulling focus from my family's grief.
It is a completely valid challenge, and it is exactly what the rigorous training programs for end-of-life doulas are designed to address. The core curriculum of doula training is centered entirely on autonomy and ego suppression.
Ego suppression.
Yes, you are trained to become a vessel for the dying person's values, not your own. You must strip away your own identity, your own beliefs, and, in Nicole's case, your own massive celebrity to center the patient.
So it's essentially the exact opposite of acting. Acting is about putting on layers to draw attention to yourself, and this is about taking off layers to become invisible.
Precisely. Now, whether Nicole intends to actually practice formally with public strangers, or if she is simply pursuing this rigorous training to broaden her own capacity to care for her immediate circle of family and friends as they age, well, that remains to be seen. But navigating the sheer weight of her celebrity would undoubtedly be the biggest hurdle if she took on external clients.
But even if she never practices publicly, look at what this training is doing for her life right now. She is using it to ground herself. During that same San Francisco event, she told the audience that right before she walked on stage, she was on the phone with her 17-year-old, Sunday, who was having a complete teenage meltdown.
Yeah, typical teenager stuff.
Right. And Nicole, drawing on this grounded energy, was just coaching her through it, saying, it's okay, step by step. You're going to look back at this week, and you'll have a different perspective on it next week.
It shows you how she is surviving the chaos. Think about what she has endured in the last 2 years. She watched her mother die. She endured the collapse of a 19-year marriage. Her family structure was torn apart and subjected to global scrutiny. She isn't just surviving this trauma by throwing herself into more $15 million movie roles or by hiding in some gated community. She is actively seeking deeper human connection.
She really is.
She is balancing the extreme artificial highs of Hollywood with the heavy, inescapable realities of human mortality.
It's incredible. She is guiding her teenage daughters through the anxieties of growing up, while simultaneously studying how to guide people through the anxieties of dying.
It requires a profound level of empathy. We spend so much time watching these celebrities build their massive careers, negotiate their contracts, and fight for control of their narratives. But Nicole's new path strips all of that away. It makes you wonder about the end game of all this ambition. When all the red carpets are finally rolled up, when the cameras stop flashing and the bank accounts don't matter anymore, what is the legacy we actually leave behind for our children?
That is the ultimate question. At the end of it all, is it the career we kept or the care we gave? It's a thought experiment that applies whether you are a Hollywood icon or just a regular person navigating your own family's transitions.
And it proves that Nicole Kidman's new reality is far richer than anyone could have ever predicted.
That is definitely the thought to sit with today. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.